product reboot, in my definition, is when you've got this existing product that's got a user base for it, but it's not ideal in the way it's solving its problem, or you're pivoting to change to solve a slightly different problem. And so a reboot is generally like you're going to transition this thing from one direction to another, or from one UI to another, where you're going to solve problems maybe a little more elegantly, or you're going to solve different problems. And the catch with a reboot, as opposed to a product build or a new feature or a new product, is that you've got an existing customer base, right? And you don't want to burn your existing customers as you're transitioning to this new product. And so every product most products, I should say, I've been part of reboots. The one that comes to mind is probably like the one is the LinkedIn Messenger reboot that I was a part of, where we changed LinkedIn InMails to chat-like features. So now everybody uses it. It's pretty standard. But there was a time prior to prior to the chat features, where LinkedIn was just, everything was email kind of sort of. It was like we called InMail emails. And it wasn't an ideal situation where it fostered like really collaborative discussions, and it wasn't very engaging. It was kind of like really boring and old. And so, but the reality was, I remember talking to Jeff, who was a CEO at the time, and he was concerned that like, hey, like InMail does generate revenue for the business, and does this have a negative impact on our revenue if we transition it too hard? And so we did some very delicate tests, if you will. We tested our way into this theory, and it turned out that it was not just highly engaging, double-digit percentages of engagement was lifted as a result of this. And so, but the fear is that when you reboot a product, you burn your existing customer base, and that's the worst thing that could happen, because at the end of the day, you're there for a reason. You're there because of that customer base. So you want to make sure that you're meeting their needs, but also evolving it to a way that made sense.